Hey everyone, it is Edgelord 9001 here. Today, I will be giving out an update for the channel's future. Let us begin. For the We Live in a Society series, I will re-upload the other two scrapped videos from years ago, then I will properly remake the full series for the future of my channel. I then plan to make commentary videos, mainly focusing on gaming, and then later on, debunking the propaganda that modern-day From Software fans believe. Specifically, from the 2020s era. I don't know when they will make those exactly, but I will do it when the Soulsborne community dies. Right now, it is full of tourists and LARPers who didn't exist during the 2010s era. Or specifically, pre-DS2. This also includes 2010s YouTubers who shill modern From Software slop. While I hate the Elden Ring and afterwards praising of trash, the DS2 revisionism is honestly worse. Back in the 2010s, no one actually believed DS2 was the best, or let alone better than DS1. But we do now since it is full of tourists and big fanboys. I have seen their arguments. It is literally just bad faith strawmanning, also featuring some whataboutism. The only people who defended DS2 back in the day didn't actually care about the series, and only pretended to for attention and contrarianism, like H-Bomber Guy, and a few other tiny select nobodies. They are all tourists in the end. But now, that is the vast majority of all From Software fans, and that will never end until From Software stops producing Souls games. They implied they would do that with DS3 and how it was supposed to be the final Dark Souls game, and I am pretty sure they also stated that everything after DS3 would be very different. They proved that right with Sekiro, but they backtracked with Elden Ring, which was like DS3, but with an open world. The main issue with Elden Ring is that it has all the previous flaws of all older Souls games, but ramped to the maximum. Combine that with a mostly empty open world full of reused foes and mostly useless items. Tourists pretend that it is a super skillful game and super hard, and that somehow makes it good. Firstly, hard doesn't equal good. Secondly, it's not actually hard. I played the game mostly solo, and all the super hard bosses only took around 4 tries or less. The only real exceptions were Malenia and Consort Radahn, but Malenia only took me around an hour, and Radahn around 2. For comparison, I died more and took longer in previous Souls hardest games. But that is not how you are supposed to play Elden Ring. I did that for my ego, and other veterans do that for the same reason too. However, newcomers do that because treehards tell them that is how the game is supposed to be played. However, the majority of players, and how FromSoft wanted you to play, is to literally use everything you have. Also known as spamming spells/weapon abilities, over-leveling, and summoning ashes, and NPCs, which can also be used together. Using everything as intended, the game becomes the easiest Soulsborne game ever made, and it's not even close. Of course, I will elaborate more on Elden Ring and DS2 when those videos inevitably come. I also have some older rants relating to modern From Software that will be re-uploaded hopefully not too long from now. Back onto my main point, I don't think the modern FromSoft community will last forever. That is because this cycle had already occurred with Sekiro before. When Sekiro wasn't able to garner views like Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne did, many YouTubers and casuals left. Easy example, Otsdarva and Scott Jund, who were once Soulsborne-focused YouTubers, but left to milk Dead by Daylight. Orobur also did the same thing, but returned when Elden Ring came out. This tells me that many YouTubers and casuals don't actually care about the From Software, and only are here for the views. Same thing can be applied to the tourists and casuals. They are just simply choosing a popular topic and staying with it until everyone else leaves. Elden Ring has only been kept alive because of updates, Nitron, and the DLC. But since the Tarnished Edition DLC/update will be the last thing Elden Ring will get content-wise, this means that the end of the game's life will be soon, unless of course From Software decides to release another thing related to it out of the blue for the millionth time. And no, the Elden Ring movie will not resurrect it, as that is not real content. It is just a movie that at best could be milked for a month or two, then die because it's hard to milk something that has no gameplay, updates, DLC, or spin-offs. unless the kite directing that movie decides to make another movie about the DLC or Natron or both. Either way, it will die inevitably. So let's assume Elden Ring truly dies around 2027 to 2029. The only way FromSoft can keep the current tourist/casual community alive is if they make another Soulsborne game that is reminiscent enough of their past works, like what Elden Ring was to Dark Souls 3. Then Miyazaki would have now broken his promise twice, and the cycle will repeat once again throughout the 2030s. But if that doesn't happen, and From Software focuses on unique single-player experiences or just stops making games, then the tourists would eventually start leaving, and the community would inevitably heal, as only the true fans will stay in the long run. What about the Duskbloods? Irrelevant, as it is stuck on the Nintendo Switch too, and it will likely not sell that well. It will only be saved if it becomes multi-platform. And no, emulation will not save it, as normies, and most tourists, are too incompetent or afraid to do that for whatever reason. So that is what I think From Software's, and their community's future is. Let it be stated now, that forever and true, that Dark Souls 1 is easily the best From Software game, and that will never objectively change, and all true fans agree with that both impartially, and personally. Anyways, that was my channel update video. Bye.